Hey guys, SpliceWave here, and in this video I'll be showing you how to jailbreak your PS3, get on custom firmware, and how to convert your PS3 from SEX to DEX, all in this one video. So this video will serve as a prequel or prerequisite to my how to play PlayStation Home offline on PS3 video. So without further ado, let's get started. So here we are on a regular PS3 with no current modifications on it, just regular firmware. But before we begin, I just want to let you know a few things. The first is that you can only do this if your PS3 is jailbreak compatible, and in case you're wondering, Hen will not work for this. And the other thing you should know is that once you're on DEX firmware, you won't be able to play digital games, and signing into PSN is a big no-no. So if you haven't already, turn off auto sign in just so you're on the safe side. So if it's not worth losing the ability to play digital games or signing into PSN on this console, I would not recommend doing this, and I would suggest getting a second PS3 for either jailbreaking or for regular use. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go into date and time settings, which is down here, and then click set automatically on, and then date and time set via internet. Just like that. And then what we're going to do, just to make this easier, we're going to create a new user. So for this we'll just call it JB. It doesn't really matter, but this is just so we remember it. And then we're going to sign in on this account. Then we're going to go to internet browser. Then we're going to press triangle and go to tools, and we're gonna allow cookies. Triangle again, tools, JavaScript on, and then these four delete options, so delete cookies, search history, cache data, authentication information. We're gonna delete all of this. So again, and again. And then lastly, we're going to go into tools again, go to home page, and then we're going to click use blank page, then click OK. And then we're going to exit out of the browser and then just reopen it so it's nice and clean. And then press start. Then we're going to type in PS3 exploits without the .com. Then we're going to go over here to BG Toolset, main site. We're going to let it load. Going to let it do its thing. You might hear your PS3 beep. Then we're going to click on Flash Memory Manager. And also if it asks if you want to run a plugin, always select yes. As we can see, it'll do a check. If there's a green tick here, it means your PS3 is compatible with jailbreaking. If there's an X, then unfortunately your PS3 is not jailbreakable, so you won't be able to do this. So keep that web page open on your PS3, and let's head over to PC, and then plug in your USB stick into your PC, and then open File Explorer. And then find your USB, for me it's called this. And then if there's anything in it, you just want to click Format, and then FAT32. Can't be any of the others, has to be this. And then click Start. Let it do its thing. Now if this option doesn't show, don't worry, because I have a solution for that. But if for any reason you are unable to format to FAT32, then in the description there'll be a link to download a program called Rufus, which I'll show you here. There'll be a link. So for me, I'll open my browser, paste in the link, and then we're going to look for the download option. Download it like so. Open it. Click yes. This doesn't really matter. And then select your USB like so. For me it's that. Always put non-bootable. Make sure it's MBR. And then FAT32. And then click start. And then we're done. So now your USB is successfully formatted to FAT32. So simply close out of here, go into File Explorer, go into this PC, and then simply eject your USB, and then plug it back into your PS3. Okay, now we're back on PS3, and with the USB plugged in. So just to show that it shows up, go over to Video, press PS button, and it will show up here. If it doesn't show up, then just give it a few moments or re-enter it. And when it has, go back into your web browser and then go on to Flash Memory. And then click Save Flash Memory Backup. And then find your USB. For me, it'll be Dev USB 000. Might look a little different for you, but should be pretty obvious which one. Then click Save. And then just let it do its thing. Okay, so now it's done. Click Close. And now take your USB out of your PS3 and plug it back into your PC again. Okay, here we are on PC again. Just open up File Explorer. Go into your USB. If you have this, don't worry, you can erase this. And then this is the backup of your PS3. So if anything happens to your PS3, if it gets bricked, this is how you restore it. So what you'll do with this is you'll simply cut it and just put it somewhere you'll remember it. So for example, I'm going to put it in Documents. Like so. Okay, now that's done, we need to download some things. The first thing to download is the custom firmware 4.88, which is evilnet Cobra. If you're on a later version of PS3 firmware like 4.89 and so on, when that eventually comes out, download the 4.89 version of Cobra respectively. It must either be a newer or the same version number as the firmware you're currently on. So for me, I'm on 4.88, so I can't use firmware that's 4.87, if you get what I mean. So, in the description there'll be a link to download this. psxplace.com. Then scroll down. And then you'll find this one here. It'll take you to a mega link. I've already downloaded it before, so just for me I'll click save, but for you you'll probably click download. And then eventually it'll start downloading like so. And then from here we just want to minimize, not close, minimize our browser. Open this up and then just put this onto our desktop like so. And then inside here there's going to be an MB5 hash. This is to check that our download isn't corrupted, which can be pretty important because if you've got a corrupted download, the firmware won't work properly. So we're going to copy that. Going to copy the link to the MD5 hash checker, which will also be in the description. All of this will be in the description, obviously. And then we're going to choose the file. Whoops. Let's go on to desktop, PS3 update, PS3 update.pop, and then compare with, whoops, that was the wrong one, copied the wrong pop, and then you paste it there, and as we can see, they match. So that's perfect. That means the download is not corrupted if you've got a green tick. Lovely. So let's close this web page and close that mega. And then the next thing we're going to want to download is some homebrew stuff. So copy this link. And then we're going to scroll down till we find multiman, Habib toggle QA flag, and Rebug Toolbox. So Habib QA toggle, that's what we need. Click download. And then we're going to find Rebug Toolbox. And then what we'll need is simply this. We'll be needing this one. Right click and then click download. It's a small file, so it won't take long. And because multiman's not on here, we're going to have to copy this other link, obviously in the description. And it will take you to where you can download multiman. So just click download. Let it download. And then now we're done in terms of this phase of downloading. So close out of your browser. And now I'll show you what to do with these files. Once this is all downloaded, go into File Manager, go into Downloads. And then what we're going to do is copy these three things. Okay. And then put them on our USB. We're going to paste them. And then we're going to go onto desktop again. We're going to copy this. And then just paste it here. And then in terms of the USB, we're done. So click on this PC, right click on your USB, eject, then take it out of your PC and plug it back into your PS3. And back on the website again, go on to flash memory patch near the bottom, then click load patch via HTTPS, like so. And let it do its thing. You may hear the trophy noise, that means it's good. Then click close, then click on flash memory patch again. Apply loaded patch. Yes, you make sure you read this warning. This is to let you know that once this is doing it, make sure no matter what you don't lose power, otherwise it'll brick your PS3. Then just let it do its thing. And just like that, it's done. It says you can reboot your console, so we're going to click close. And then we're going to hold down the PS button, turn off the system, and when it's off, we'll turn it back on again. And then when it's back on again, you can go on your main user now, the second user isn't needed. And then go on to System Software Update, or System Update, and then Update via Storage Media. It's going to scan. Going to say 4.88.2 evilnet. Click OK. And obviously you agree to the user license. Then click Start. And then let it update. And once you're back on PS3, you can log in again. Obviously it doesn't matter which one. And then under Game, you should see two new folders. Could be App Home, could be PlayStation 3. But the one you want to pay attention to is called Packet Manager. So we're going to click on that. Install package files. Then click Standard. And there'll be three of these. So there'll be Habib QA Toggle, Rebug Toolbox, and Multiman. So we're going to install Habib. Install done. And then again for Rebug Toolbox. And then again for Multiman. Okay, so now that's been done, Remove your USB from your PS3 and then plug it back into your PC. We're going to be downloading 2 more things, so we can go from this custom firmware to Rebug, and then from CEX to DEX firmware. So let's go do that. So the first thing we want to download is Rebug 4.84 Rec. So open up your browser. And because the Rebug website has been down for over a year, we're going to have to use an archive website. So simply copy and paste this link from the description. And then it will simply start downloading. And because it's an archive website, it'll take a little longer. So once it's done, we'll continue. Okay, so now it's done, open up File Explorer, go into Downloads, and then copy it. Then go into your USB, go into PS3, Update, and then delete what's here, ps3update.pop, and then paste what you've just copied. Okay, and then we want to rename this to ps3update.pop. Make sure it's all in caps as well, but to make it easier I just do that. And then eject your USB and then plug it back in to your PS3. And then on PS3 click on toggle QA flag, and then it will go black, and then it will load the PS3 menu again. And then when it does do this, just simply turn off your PS3 and then turn it back on again. And then once you're back on, obviously log in. And then hover over network settings, but don't actually go into it, just go into like this. And this part can be a little annoying to do, but what you want to do is press all 6 of these buttons at the same time. L1, R1, L2, R2, L3, and down on the D-pad. You have to press them all at the same time. So, get your fingers ready, and then press it. Okay, so I finally did it. And if these 3 options show Eddy Viewer, Debug Settings, and Install Package Files, what you want to do is then go up to System Update. That means your QA toggle is on, so you can downgrade your firmware. Update via storage media 4.84.2. obviously we're on 4.88, and then let the system update do its thing. Okay, now that's all done, we'll log in again. And when we're back on the home screen, as you can see, we're on Rebug because the PlayStation Network icon is red instead of blue. That means you're on Rebug. So now we can go into Rebug Toolbox. And then once you're in here, go over to the right, go to Toggle QA Flag, Enabled, and then scroll all the way down to Dump EID Root Key. Then you want to click Yes. And then your PS3 will beep like that. And then it will reboot into the main menu. And then go back into Rebug Toolbox. And then go over to CEX/DEX. Then go to Rewrite Target ID in Flash. Click Yes. And then swap LV2 kernel. And then you'll get a black screen and it'll reboot. And there's one last firmware that we need to install. And then we're all done. So, log in as you normally would. As you can see, if you saw there, you have your IP address showing in the bottom right. This means you're on DEX firmware. And if you see my tutorial for how to play PlayStation Home on PS3, you'll know that's needed. But there's one last thing I'd like to install. So, let's head over to the PC. So, unplug your USB from your PS3 and plug it into your PC, and then download this. So, copy this link in the description. It's Rebug 4.84.2 DREX. So, paste it into your browser and let it download. Okay, so now it's done. Let's open up File Explorer. Go to Downloads, And then the newest thing we downloaded, we copy that. And plug in our USB if you haven't already. Like so. Sorry, mine just didn't appear. Update, delete this. And then paste. And then we want to rename it to PS3 updat.pub. And then simply eject your USB. And then plug it into your PS3 again. And then on PS3, head over to System Update. Update via storage media. Because we're on Rebug, it'll look a little different. But just click the option. Click on that. And then let it do its thing. And then, once it loads up, pretty self-explanatory. Just log in. And then just like that, you're done. You're free to follow my sequel tutorial, how to install PlayStation Home offline on PS3. So, with all that said and done, that brings us to the end of the video, and I hope you all enjoyed. Playing PlayStation Home in 21 Part 4 will be coming out fairly soon, so stay tuned for that, because I have a few surprises that will be in that video. But until then, take care and peace.